Oh, it's live. Okay. Hello, everyone. Welcome back to the streams, Chit Chat with DABS. And today we have a new guest with us. Hi, Abhishek.
Hello.
So, Abhishek is my college friend. And so, the topic we will be discussing today is inspired by him, basically. And we have one more person to join. He'll join in some time. And sorry for the delay. So should we start?
Yeah. Let's do this.
Okay, okay, okay. कुछ कहना चाहोगे like how you feel?
So
Hmm.
this is the first time I'm doing something like this. So it's
Hmm.
I don't even know what to say at this point. I'm a little blank, but it's nice. It's
Okay.
fun.
Alright. So blankness को हम हटाते हैं topic लाके.
Acha,
So
it's
we'll
nice
be
sitting in
discuss.
front of a camera and like imagining that there are people watching this.
हाँ हाँ. And also meeting में नहीं करते क्या तुम लोग like cam on like your work from home
Most like
meetings?
very rarely we keep the cameras on.
Hmm. Oh, that's why you're feeling good.
because because you
Hmm.
पता है ना like आधे meetings तो they're mostly rubbish तो 1.5 घंटे का discussion होता है about God knows
Hmm.
what. By the end of 90
Hmm.
minutes the person who scheduled the meeting उनको ही याद नहीं रहता है कि what they were supposed to discuss in the first place. ऐसा ही हो जाता है. So we keep our
Wow.
cameras off. मैं तो Twitter चलाता हूँ mostly, but yeah, but if it's a
Uh,
useful discussion, then it's different. It doesn't go beyond 30 minutes. तब तो हम cameras on भी रखते हैं.
Acha, so are you the listener or the like the one speaking in meetings? Like you have to like respond. So like
Uh,
how?
it depends on the kind of meeting. So it's like
Hmm.
if it's something particular to my work, like something that I'm
Hmm.
working on, yeah, so I end up talking a lot. But if it's more like, some sort of status update and things like that, so there's
Uh,
really nothing much for me to say in those calls. So I just have to just absorb whatever is going on around me. That's mostly it.
all right, all right. I think everybody can relate to that. Also, we'll just start the topic and introduce the topic. So, like, what we'll discuss about today. And just a sec. Huh. So we'll be discussing about like Abhishek left Metaverse, like basically all the apps like Instagram, WhatsApp, I think Facebook, everything you left. Like how much time has it been like leaving all those apps?
I mean, let's be honest, who's still using Facebook in 2022 anyway? But
I have to comment on my company's post, so I still use them. So
yeah, so
yeah.
that's like a very niche use case of Facebook now. So imagine when we were in college, when Facebook was everything, all the
Huh.
groups, all the
Oh my
gossip,
God,
and whatever happened
pages.
on, yeah, all the
Yeah.
pages, and he commented this on that photo, she said that, and all that spills out into real life in the classroom as well. So
Yeah,
Facebook was
yeah.
a
And you
very
remember that Adam Eve wala contest that the pic that gets the most
my
likes will
God.
be like, yeah.
They
Oh
get
my God.
to
So,
participate in the final round. My
हाँ,
God,
yeah,
what
yeah,
a
yeah, yeah.
what a
Hmm.
cringe fest. Now that you think about, but then every contest was like that, right? It was not just the whole Adam and Eve pageant thing. We had so many contests on Facebook, right? Like post
Yeah,
pictures
yeah,
of
yeah.
this,
So,
post a story,
hmm.
post your poetry, whatnot. Whoever gets the
Hmm.
most
Hmm.
likes gets. Well,
Yeah,
I
it
don't
was
know.
like the basis of everything, like who gets the most likes. So everybody will be like messaging everybody just like this, or maybe share with your friends and like that, right?
Oh, you remember it doesn't stop. It didn't stop there either. Like if you were in your hostel at like let's say 7 p.m., you would have like five people knocking your door asking you to
Hmm.
open Facebook and go like this
Hmm.
particular person's post or whatever it was.
Yeah, yeah.
And
Yeah,
and
yeah,
and look
yeah. It
and
was fun.
looking at that, we've
Hmm.
come such a long way from all that. So in that sense, I mean,
Yeah.
we don't really use Facebook. So even for me, I
Hmm.
stopped using it actively probably after probably after
Hmm.
2020 mid, maybe maybe around the first wave of COVID was probably when I used it last, because at that
Yeah,
time
yeah.
a lot of information was flowing through Facebook as well,
Hmm.
like case updates
Yeah,
and
yeah.
whatnot.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. True, true, true.
But after
Yeah.
that, so even my
Hmm.
Facebook account was anyway dormant. I hardly opened it. Then I realized even if I delete it, it makes no difference to me or the people I talk to. But yeah, but
Yeah,
deleting
yeah.
Instagram
Hmm.
was a
Very
big
big jump for you.
was a big
Huh.
jump for me, because so
Hmm.
I did all of this on one day. It was in Jan
Hmm.
2021. It's been a year now,
Hmm.
more than a year.
Hmm. It's been a year. Okay,
Even more
fine.
than a year. So
Hmm.
it's
More
been
than a
almost,
year. Yeah, it's
yeah, it's
been
been
like
almost 18 months.
1.5, huh?
Yeah,
1.5 years.
yeah.
Huh.
And so for me,
Hmm.
Instagram was kind of a big thing, because that was, at least for me, that was like a brand that I built for myself during my college
Yeah.
years and the couple of years I lived in Mumbai after that. And to
Hmm.
just nuke that on a whim, I don't know. I mean, that was like a big bullet to swallow. But again, using Instagram was what just led me to that decision in the first place. It just started getting just too much for me at one point. So I was like, what would life
Hmm.
be like without all this noise? And I just did it.
I think I read your thread that Twitter that you just woke up and you deleted everything. So
Yeah.
was it like out of like curiosity, or was it like building, like daily you were thinking of deleting it and just one day you woke up and deleted everything? Like, how was it? How was the process?
it, it was a bit of both. I mean, a lot of
Mm.
things came into play. So yeah, one was obviously yes. So I've always been curious about, I just look at the people around, friends, family, acquaintances, and all the
Mm.
relationships that we've built with them, and I'm like,
Mm.
what would all of that look like if it weren't for social media, right? So we're living our real lives in this
Mm.
physical world and all, but at some point, subconsciously, you have all these social media levers running in your head that kind of end up determining what
Mm.
you do, what you say, even what you wear.
Yeah,
Because
yeah.
you're like, okay,
Mm.
I need to meet this person at 7 p.m. in this place. It's and which also
Um,
happens to be an Instagrammable cafe. So you meet them there, and
oh
then
yeah.
you post a story
Yeah.
there. You post a story of them, and then you
Yeah.
post share pictures of food.
And
I
you
don't.
you also post that you're having a good time.
Yeah,
So yeah.
I'm not saying that
Hmm.
that's a bad thing, by the way. I am not here
Yeah,
to
no,
pass
no.
judgment on any of these things. I mean, if it makes you
No,
happy,
no.
do it, man. Who cares? But
Hmm, hmm,
at least for me, I I
hmm.
was just kind of getting disillusioned by all of that to start with.
Okay.
But then
Hmm,
later
hmm.
on, I realized I've just been, I like personally, I ended up consuming too much information through Instagram about pretty much every topic conceivable, mostly
Hmm,
politics and uh, commentary uh, around society and all that. But in general,
okay.
it felt like I'm just being bombarded with too much information. I'm like, what
Hmm.
my friends are doing, what they're doing all the time. I mean, I'm
Ah,
knowing all this
yeah,
because they're
yeah.
putting it out there, but still,
Hmm. Hmm,
it was that. And also, at least during COVID, like at the 2019 to 2020, that 1 year, I don't know, it became like doom scrolling became like a very normal phenomenon on both
Ah,
Instagram and
like
Facebook.
I don't think after like 5 to 10 minutes of scrolling, you even realize you are just scrolling. I think it was like during the first wave of COVID, it was like you just going on without even realizing that you're consuming it and it is affecting you. Just going on and on and on.
Yeah,
I think that was like
yeah, it just numbs your mind at one point, right? And
yeah.
when you realize what you're scrolling through isn't really nice for your mind to be consuming, uh,
Hmm.
the after effects are not so good, because I just became
Hmm.
very grumpy, I guess. And I don't know, I
Oh.
was just constantly feeling that, okay, we're living this horrible, horrible
Hmm.
world, and there's just bad
Oh.
things happening around us all the time. You end up falling into
Yeah,
that
yeah,
trap, right? Like you
yeah,
have
yeah.
people
Hmm.
across different
Hmm.
leanings, just complaining about something or the other. Okay, this is bad. This person is
Hmm.
evil. That company did this. This person reacted
Hmm.
to X in a certain fashion and whatnot. It
Yeah.
at least it became too overwhelming for me at one stage. Like, no, I'm just going to turn this off. And and let's face
Exactly.
it, Instagram isn't what it used to be, right? Like when we were using it, say 4 or 5
Yeah,
years
I
ago.
think.
Yeah,
Hmm.
there's also that.
Yeah.
It was
Yeah.
at least when I started using it, or you for that
Hmm.
matter, it was a simple photo sharing app. You shared pictures, you
Hmm.
follow people, people follow you back. Could be anyone,
Hmm.
and you just
Yeah.
liked them, you commented on them, and that's it. There was nothing beyond that. But then you started
Hmm.
getting in more of these. Uh, I'm pretty sure like Meta would have employed probably like 15, 20 product managers across verticals over the course of time,
Yeah.
that everybody had to get some sort of feature in to drive user engagement. So we started getting reels. Okay, maybe not reels. Reels was a
Yeah.
after effect or something else, I guess. But
Yeah.
yeah, so you had like more push for video, more push for portrait oriented content. Uh,
Yeah. 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 Hmm.
Stories
Hmm. Hmm.
and then whatnot. So just to keep driving engagement, so now you had this option of liking comments, as if liking
Hmm.
posts were not enough. I don't-
Yeah.
and and the whole recommendation engine, right? What it was spewing at you. So if you open Instagram, you log out,
Hmm.
just create a
Hmm.
brand new account. I think I
Hmm.
tweeted a screen recording of this as well when I created that dummy
Yeah.
account.
Yeah.
I went to the
Yeah.
discovery section and my God, the
Oh my God, it happened to me yesterday. We created a new account and just like I just went to the explore thing. Oh my God, I was just shocked to see the explore of that
yeah, the
account. Like
absolute
it was
rubbish
all,
that you're bombarded
yeah,
by.
dude.
God.
It was all like NSFW
Yeah,
like things
NSFW for
happening.
sure.
Yeah,
It's
yeah.
just not nice to look at. It's just unpalatable. So,
Exactly. Like,
uh,
why would you like think about a 13-year-old child or maybe like 12-year-old who is like making a new account and he or she sees all this.
yeah,
Like,
and 13 is
it
the age.
isn't right.
Yeah, 13
Yeah,
is the age limit, I guess. I mean, you have to be
yeah, yeah,
minimum of. Yeah, I mean,
yeah,
if you're
yeah.
13 years old, and what are you getting to look at? I don't think that's going to leave a
Yeah,
good impact
yeah.
on your mind. But anyway, so
No, like it was like a trauma for me, so I guess like I
yeah, and even when we started
don't.
using Instagram, it was like so both of
Hmm,
us, since we went to the same college, you know that, right? Like you know that we were in
hmm.
we were in an actual small town, not in a big city. We were in a small town in the
Yeah.
hills.
Hmm.
Internet penetration wasn't a thing at the time, so
Yeah.
at max, people were using Facebook just to stalk their friends, send friend requests, and
Yeah.
chat. That
Yeah,
was
yeah,
basically it. So Instagram was more like,
yeah.
okay, the cool kids are on Instagram. That's how it was.
Yeah.
So
So like right now how it is like with Twitter, like cool kids are on Twitter. So like the back that time, like cool kids are on
yeah,
Instagram and they post pictures with hashtags. Like they
hashtags
have a
or
yeah,
yeah,
like they have a sense of like how to put hashtags or like maybe that was like a cool language that time. I
yeah,
remember
like
clearly.
people would like frame entire sentences with hashtags, right? Because it was the it was the cool thing to do at the
It
time.
was the coolest, latest thing on the market or maybe on the
Yeah,
like
it started off with Twitter, I think, the whole hashtag, the whole hashtag paradigm, and
yeah,
then
yeah.
it came
Hmm.
over to Instagram. But Instagram actually made it popular, I think, more than Twitter ever did. For like this whole trending a hashtag concept, uh, and then of course it spilled over to Facebook and everywhere else, LinkedIn and whatnot. But yeah,
Yeah,
and
yeah,
and look at what you have now. It's literally an e-commerce platform that's giving
yeah.
anyone a storefront, and you can
Hmm.
share a lot
Yeah,
of
you can
videos.
sell
I don't know.
anything. Like, huh. So basically, right now, I was just reading a tweet of someone like he was like, so he was like he uses like Twitter a lot, but he went to Instagram once in a while, and they made some changes to the UI. I haven't like get like update or anything. So he was like, "What's Instagram? Like, it's like photo sharing app, it's video app, it's e-commerce website, it's what else? Like something like you just open and there's so many overwhelming things. Like you can't even decide like what to do on that app. Like once you open it, you just randomly go to the reel section and you just start doom scrolling without anything in your mind, and you just go there and just tap, like double tap, scroll, double tap, scroll, double tap, and that's all.
Yeah, like probably 7, 8 years back, Facebook brought in the infinite scrolling feature on their website. So
Haha.
it's like you scroll to the bottom of a series of posts, it would load more posts after that. In fact,
Yeah.
there used to be a lot of memes at that time also. Like when somebody creates a new Facebook account and they don't have many friends, like
Haha.
when the whole social graph is not grown yet.
Hmm.
After like 10, 20 posts, it'd be like that you're done for the day or something. I don't remember. Like you couldn't scroll past
Okay.
because until there's some new content, until there are any new posts to show you from any of the
Okay.
pages or the people you follow,
Okay.
and then
Mhm.
the whole infinite scrolling thing came in. So now once you're done with
Okay.
the post in your circle, like from your
Mhm.
knowledge graph, it would then start like finding similar posts from similar people who have public
Ah.
accounts, similar pages that are
Mhm.
public, and so they'll like start showing you posts from there, and at one point it'll also like
Mhm.
start showing you old posts from your network itself,
Ah.
just
Yeah,
to
yeah,
keep
yeah,
people
yeah.
using
True.
the app. And imagine
Yeah.
doing that
Mhm.
with so so now, I mean, that's kind of like a staple feature for any social app, right? Like there's no end to the
Yeah.
scrolling. And yeah, with like
Mhm.
millions of videos being uploaded every day, there's obviously no
Yeah,
end
yeah.
to the content
Ha, ha,
also,
ha,
right?
ha.
So
Yeah, yeah. I think whatever time we had on the stream, we talked about the cons basically, like the infinite scrolling and like not knowing what to do on the app or like
infinite
just
scrolling
be
isn't even like a bad thing per se. It's just that we're just
maybe
there's
it's
no
the
balance
perception, like
between the
how do you
good
take
and
it?
yeah, there's no balance between the good
Mm,
and the bad content, and that's not getting
mm,
regulated properly, right? So the
mm.
the whole recommendation algorithm just starts throwing just about anything at you after a
Um,
point. That's what makes the whole experience weird, I think.
yeah, 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 yeah. So let's talk about the good wala things, like in a positive way. Like how like Instagram has affected, or maybe Facebook has affected in new like a positive
Yeah,
change, maybe. Yeah.
yeah,
So.
for sure. Like,
Mm, mm,
like I said,
mm,
at least throughout college, I built my
mm,
own brand as in not like a business, but like I was able
mm,
to create this
mm,
identity through Instagram as someone uh, who's into
mm.
photography and all that. So in that way, like
Yeah, yeah. Mm,
Instagram was like I don't know, like that was
mm,
my digital persona which I couldn't live without for sure. And
mm,
posting pictures, and a lot of people
mm,
reached out to me, like juniors and all that. Like, I like
mm,
what you do, and can you teach us
mm.
stuff and all that. That felt really good. And
That was
like
nice. Huh?
yeah,
Huh.
even inside of college, I so there was. It's not like our college was this huge university that it was hard to network with people, but still, it was nice. Like that little window that Instagram had created for me, and even when I was traveling, when I started
Hmm.
going outside, like when I went to Mumbai, I made a lot of friends because of Instagram. Uh,
Yeah, I
like
think it's good for networking. Hmm.
I made a lot of friends through it because people used to share a lot of events on it, right, through stories and all.
Okay.
And
Hmm.
like I got to follow a lot of good accounts because of the account suggestions and all. And uh,
Yeah,
in
yeah, yeah.
general, like
Hmm.
at least when it came to photography and like filmmaking and all of that, I started learning a lot of stuff through
Hmm.
Instagram and the people I
Yeah.
followed. So that was
Hmm.
actually
Hmm.
nice.
Yeah. Hmm.
And of
So
course,
that's it.
yeah, I mean, it also was like this. it's kind of like my photo journal. Right? I mean, of course, I posted photos. That's one thing, but I also
Yeah,
used
yeah,
to
yeah.
keep posting a lot of
Mm-hmm.
stories with photos that I would just take
Yeah.
on my phone on the go. And I
Mm-hmm.
don't know, it just somehow at least like with photography, right? If you want to uh, so if you want to get better at it, like you have to keep focusing on the craft uh,
Hmm.
as much as you can. Yeah. So in that way, like it
Yeah.
was nice walking around, just taking photos and posting stories on
Hmm.
Instagram and getting that feedback. It was nice. It was just like this very happy feedback loop that I
Ah,
had. And also like
yeah, yeah.
my skills, my
Hmm.
taste, everything just refined over time, going by the
Okay.
accounts and the people that I interacted with. Some of them I got to meet in real life as well. So that was nice.
Mm-hmm. Ah, nice, nice. So, like, right now, how you said, like, it made you feel happy, like, when you shared posts and everything, right? Like,
Hmm.
maybe a little bit of dopamine, like,
A
that
little, a lot.
happiness.
I mean,
Yeah.
I'll be honest here. It
So,
was a lot. Yeah,
yeah,
I
I
was just
think,
living
yeah,
on that
everybody.
dopamine high. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. So I think back then it was a thing like when you post and people start liking and you see the number of likes, you get a good feeling. So that's also, and right now I have a like Insta page and where post like all the food stuff. So like before I used to be like key number of followers mattered to me and maybe the number of likes. But after some time, like how you told me na ki you click pictures and you just posted them just for your own happiness. So I just started making these mini vlogs like 5 6 seconds, 14 seconds, and I just keep uploading them, and it makes me happy, and also it's kind of a hobby for me considering. ठीक है, food, I love food and everything. So it's been there for like 2 years, and you have stopped like using it like Instagram for 1.5 years. So how do you like what is your alternative for that happiness is what I want to know. Like
Uh,
the big chunk of your photography or maybe posting things, meeting things, whatever you said, it just went off like after removing Instagram. So how did you replace that chunk with like how did you like manage like that? Yeah. Hmm.
so so the last 2 years, my life has also like changed considerably. So if
Hmm.
I were to tell myself maybe in 2020
Hmm.
that I am going to turn into a proper tech pro, like a software developer at this Bangalore-based startup, I would have probably laughed it off because what I had intended to do in life was very different from what I'm doing right now. So
Yeah, yeah.
I and since I've been working remotely, I've also not had the chance to go out and just
Hmm.
shoot recently. So the thing is, even I after moving back home, all my stuff was in Mumbai at
Hmm.
the time, so it was locked up in my apartment for a
Hmm.
year, and my camera got ruined in that time frame.
Hmm.
So it took me. So
Ah.
it's only after a year that
Hmm.
I got my stuff back. It I was either busy or I was
Hmm.
lazy, but it took me like another 3 months to get my camera repaired. But even after that, not
Okay.
had the I've not had the time to really go out and take photos. It's something that I want to uh, start doing again.
Hmm.
Uh, yeah,
Hmm.
that's like something I really miss doing. And also,
Hmm.
I got myself a bike. so so
Ha.
yeah, I also
Yeah.
end up I also end up like just roaming about a lot.
Traveling.
And now
Okay.
not traveling, but just like going on rides and stuff. But yeah, but I think I need to take out my camera and go out next time. So
Ah,
that's something that's
do it.
something
And you
something that
can
was like,
just post it on Twitter for us.
yeah, or Twitter.
Like
And also I use Visco. Visco is a really nice underrated platform that no one talks about because it's
the
it's a social,
CSU.
yeah, VSCO. It's a social app that no one uses.
Oh, I
but
didn't know. I thought it's just the editing app. Like I thought that.
No, I mean, that's what people use it for. Their editing, that their filters and
Hmm.
presets are very nice. and
Mm-hmm.
it's a really good app for editing photos that you take on your phone. So yeah,
Okay.
for that it's really good, but you can also like post photos there. But usme na, you don't have the option of likes, comments, and stuff like that. You just share photos,
Oh.
people look at it, people follow you. That's it. And there's no keeping track of
Mhm.
follower count, and there's no influencing. There's no
That's
business.
nice.
There's no business on
Yeah,
Visco basically going on running on top
yeah,
of Visco rather. So Visco makes money by selling its presets and all its pro features. That's it.
yeah. So you people also make those presets and you sell them on Instagram with
No,
links
not for
and stuff,
Visco. So
right?
those presets which they sell, they are for Lightroom. They make people say,
Okay,
"Oh my
okay.
god, that's one of those things that really, really started irritating me on Instagram because
Mhm,
it just yeah actually that's like one of the reasons that I really was considering like getting off the platform because it started reducing photography and like basically all of these visual arts, right? Even if you're someone who draws, even if you're a graphic designer or
mhm.
something, it just reduces everything to a commodity. If you so let's say if
Ah,
you're a so let's say you're a digital artist or something,
mhm,
right? So people started with so people one person probably would have realized, oh,
mhm,
I have created this really nice brush on Procreate. Maybe I should share it with people. But why
mhm.
should I do it for free? Maybe like, I
Okay.
can share it and people can pay me for it or something. So one person sold one Procreate
Yeah,
brush, and now you have
like
people selling.
capitalization of everything.
It's everything's
Hmm.
become it's kind of getting reduced to a commodity. I don't know if I'm like wording this right, but you know what I'm saying, right? So yeah, now everyone's like busy selling brush packs on Instagram. People are busy selling Lightroom preset packs for different styles, different
Hmm.
moods. I'm like, okay, fine.
Hmm.
So as a result of that, what happened is you have this one successful guy on Instagram who comes up with his own
Hmm.
style. His photos look his or her
Hmm.
photos look a certain way, and now uh, everyone's just reduce that to a template, and they're like, oh, I'm emulating this person. Give me attention. I need the validation. That's what it has become. So that's like photos, videos, pretty much anything visual, right? So that kind of
Yeah.
really pissed me off. Uh, okay, I
Okay, okay.
digress.
Wait a
I
minute,
forgot.
wait a minute. The aesthetic thing, we have like Abhimanyu guest with us, Abhimanyu. After struggling a lot, he's like on the stream. Can you just unmute yourself? Huh. Thanks. Thank you so much.
It turns out to be that Chrome really struggles to like
Kya?
connect, and I had to like
Yeah.
download Firefox just to be able to connect to this. So it was annoying.
Oh, मैं भी
Chrome sucks,
फायरफॉक्स
Yeah,
man. Just
से
use
ही
Brave.
आती हूँ वैसे. I didn't know. हाँ.
yeah, exactly. So the thing is, like, it say that Chrome supports it, but then I was like, let me just try something else. So I just did this, and I was like,
Okay.
shit, dude! I just connected in the
Nice.
first hour, and I was like, shit. But
It's
Yeah,
okay. It's
Chrome,
okay.
yeah,
Chrome,
So
so
I
yeah,
sorry
want
for
Chrome
the.
is,
to in.
but it
No,
was
no,
worth
it's
the wait
totally
because
fine.
Hmm.
yeah, but it was worth the wait because he's the one with the nicest background here, clearly. So
Yeah.
it's very carefully curated.
Yeah, that's why when you were
It
telling
is.
about aesthetics, I was like,
Yeah,
let's stop and we need to like introduce Abhimanyu for the aesthetics part. So
yeah, he
हाँ तो
has a
हम ना
pet
कहाँ
code and a
पहुँचे हैं?
dream catcher. It's really nice.
हम्म, and Swifty वो record vinyl thing के यही बोलते हैं ना?
Yes, yes, that is the
हाँ.
alum red. I don't know what that is. The tree, yeah, बहुत random stuff. Like, so I keep on like changing this nowadays very frequently. I'm getting another pegboard and just like yeah,
Wow, मुझे भी लेना है.
and
You
like
should make a video
I
about
dude,
it.
I, so like
hmm.
no because like so every day I have to be on video calls and stuff. No, so it's like I'm like okay, like how can I make those calls interesting? So like दूसरे दिन or like in a couple of days I keep on making some changes in the background. People do notice it. People are like, oh, this is a new stuff. Like yeah, so it's a nice distraction from
feeling.
boring video calls.
हाँ. नाइस या तो अभी
Okay,
हम कहाँ
where are
थे?
we on in discussion? Like, because मैंने
हाँ,
काफी parts
तो
सुना.
सुनो,
Hmm.
नाइस नाइस थैंक्स। तो अभी हम मतलब वही डिस्कस कर रहे थे कि इंस्टाग्राम लाइक द मेटावर्स का लाइक प्रोज एंड कॉन्स एंड स्टफ। तो वी वर इन द फेज कि जैसे लाइक जब हम पोस्ट करते थे और कुछ भी करते थे तो हमें ना खुशी होती थी लाइक when people used to like, people used to comment good things and all that. तो considering कि अभिषेक ने वो पूरा ऐप uninstall कर दिया, तो where is he getting that from? Or maybe that that posting chunk he used to post photos and everything, right? So where is like posting his creativity or like the alternative of that big chunk of his life, like that. Hmm.
No, it's so interesting because like a couple of days ago I was uh
Hmm.
I don't know what talk it was, but it was
Hmm.
it just like based around how like everything that we do is sort of, you know, because you may think that, you know, like, oh, you know what, I do not want validation, but at the end of the day everybody is looking for some sort of validation. It probably
Yeah.
the way in which people
Agreed.
seek
Yeah.
for it is different. You know, like
Hmm.
for example, like Instagram has become a very easy form of validation, which people are like, oh, I do not want to go for this. Because I actually know
Hmm.
of 2, 3 people who are actually using Visco. Like Jashmi is one of those. Like she does use Visco a lot. Like she
Hmm.
posts on Visco and stuff. So that is one. But I think so. It boils down to what platform or what means that means is it that you choose for validation.
Please
Wo hai ki
share.
like,
Okay.
things keep on changing, right?
Yeah, share her account. No, I think I want to follow her.
I'll
Yeah.
do that. Like
Okay.
because I was like, so I was telling her, ki, dude, I used it for a couple of days, and I used it basically just for the filters,
Hmm.
right? Like, but
Hmm.
she has been regularly using it. So whenever she finds a nice picture, she'll be like, oh, do you mind sending it to me? I want to edit it. So
Oh.
and yeah, that's how it goes. But do you remember like at one point of time, no, like neither of us were on Instagram for that matter. You know, like we were on different apps and stuff. But
Hmm.
we shifted to these apps because we were like, oh, there are lesser people here, so let's be here. It is a nicer place.
हाँ, वही हमने बात की
Same thing
like that
happened
was like cool
to
era. हाँ.
That's why I use Twitter
yeah,
one.
but
Hmm.
you know, like that, there's a series of YouTube videos also on how Instagram was
हाँ.
formed and पूरा उसका acquisition कैसे हुआ and you know like how उसका the founder का vision was like not kept intact eventually and hence he left.
Hmm.
But like
Okay.
पूरा story है like you know like जैसे the thing that we're talking about like how it was not supposed to be like you know this highly monetized and stuff and everything, no. So
Yeah.
Instagram,
Hmm.
for that matter, WhatsApp, everything that Facebook sort of acquired, like you know like all those companies did not want to be a part of that, but eventually they had to give
Yeah.
in because money.
Yeah.
So
Hmm.
That argument I really don't buy because these founders, right? They if they really wanted to take a principled stand, they could. But then
Hmm.
when you're like faced with this huge sum of money, you're like, okay, maybe I should just pick up this fat lofty check and
so
then
it is
see
true,
where
right?
it
Like
goes.
uh
Yeah. Then I should see where it
so,
goes.
so
And it
like
definitely
you
doesn't
know
go where
about this,
you
right?
want it
Like
to.
but Snapchat, like Snapchat is a great example of
Hmm.
how they did not give
Hmm.
in, right?
Hmm.
But then
Hmm.
Facebook managed to kill it. So it's either like
It's
I
coming
think so like
back.
both the
Like
options are
Snapchat is.
bad, but a better option.
Hmm.
Like but the better option for any company. For example, like you know, you come up with something amazing, really amazing, and you're like you get an offer from Facebook that hey, you know what, like I
Hmm.
want to like you know buy a company, acquire a company. So you know
Hmm.
is it gonna work? One is you
Hmm.
get acquired, like you let a company get acquired, or you do not do that, but Facebook is pissed and they create something parallel and then kills a company. So which option would you go for? Like
Yeah, I mean, so we obviously can't be, like take a, take a moral high ground and say stuff like, oh, they should not look at the money. Of course, that's a little mad because see, ultimately, anyone who's starting off an entrepreneurial venture, they are looking for profits, right? They either want to make a profitable business or they want to build a successful business and exit. And getting acquired is not necessarily a bad thing, but yeah. And anyway, and if you are like doing something really well, yeah, so all these big tech companies are going to come after you. And so yeah, you either cave in or you just get killed off by whatever clone that they make. Yeah, it's just that when they acquire something, they just manage to
So
make it
like,
worse. That's what really pisses me off.
are you on Signal by any chance?
Of course, yeah.
I, but
मैं
you know
भी
that
हूँ
like
but
Signal
like
was created
हाँ,
by the founder of WhatsApp
WhatsApp founder
because
हाँ हाँ
Yeah, so Signal
uh,
is Signal's major Signal's major biggest sponsor is this guy, Brian Acton, I think. So he
oh
donated a lot of money to the Signal Foundation to keep the app going, and
mm-hmm.
it's still running on a lot of donation to the state. So yeah, that I
but
really like.
you
That
know
I really
WhatsApp was also
admire.
running on that before
So what?
acquisition. WhatsApp was also sort of running on that, like like those donations by people, like in case you want to pay annually something, it was really low. I think it was some $99 per year, but like, and they had kept it voluntary, and people were paying for it. So it was not like making profits, like massive profits, but it was still getting by. Like,
Oh, I didn't
so
know that.
that
I
was
mean,
the
I
thing.
knew that WhatsApp used to be a paid product when it came out, and so
No,
actually,
no, so
one thing I
optional
do
payment
remember
was
is
optional. You could.
yeah, one thing I do remember is it had a payment option, and a lot of people were reluctant to pay, right? Like, especially in a country like India. So, I still remember a lot of phones, like back when Android, iOS were big, like before they were big. Like a lot of these phones used to package WhatsApp as part of the phone itself. So I still remember using the
Yeah.
Nokia's Symbian version of WhatsApp, and yeah, that was nice. So when you bought the phone, you basically paid a bit for WhatsApp as well. That was nice actually.
That was nice. Even like I sort of like in my head, I also like sort of feel responsible. So sometimes, so have you ever seen those ads that come for Wikipedia, like keep Wikipedia independent and all those things? So
That's a
I don't know,
scam,
like
by the way.
in my head, is it in my head? I'm
No
like, okay,
scam.
so
No scam, as in
every year
yes.
I do a little bit of payment, like some $150 ish. Like it just feels like good, like like I don't know, like
That means so. It's true that Wikimedia Foundation is a non-profit and they run on donations and all, but it's definitely not true that Wikipedia doesn't have money. They have a lot of money. They've managed to raise a lot of funds through donations
anyhow,
and
that's true. They have
all that.
money. Yeah.
They are sitting on a lot of cash, so they definitely don't need your 150 rupees to keep the site running. But that's the kind of appeal that they make, right? Like help us keep.
Okay.
No, I'm not. No, I'm not disrespecting you here, but but that's how they message the. That's how they word. That's how carefully worded their messages, right? Like help us keep the lights on. That's
No,
not
but
true. You're not helping them keeping their lights on. You're just you're just giving them more money. That's it.
no, so just think about it. Like like um, on a very different tangent. Okay, people think that microtransactions don't help. I'm telling you about
They do.
like okay, I'm playing Genshin a lot. Okay, Genshin Impact खेल रहा हूँ मैं. Free to play game, totally free to play game, but it works on like I don't know if you know about gacha system, but like it works on wishing on characters, wishing on weapon system, right? Despite being a free game, the game made पिछले साल 2 billion बनाया था, इस साल 3 billion. despite being a free game. And ये पूरा पैसा कहाँ से आ रहा है? Micro transactions से आ रहा है. You would think that like,
Yeah. No. Of course. So I'm
Pokemon
not
Go,
saying that
in-app
Pokemon Go,
purchases.
ठीक है. Literally हमारे लिए जो expenditure है, हाँ हमारे लिए पता है कितना होता है? Ticket size कितना है जो हम लोग खरीदते? 29 rupees. But the Imagine company is thriving on those 29 rupees that we shell out from our pocket.
Yeah, agree.
So microtransactions do like.
Correct. I'm not disputing that. Of course, like they do come. So yeah, the avalanche effect of these microtransactions are huge. That is for sure. I'm just saying that Wikipedia is not dependent entirely on people donating right now. Like for example, if nobody donates to Wikipedia for like the next few months, they're not going to shut shop. They can keep going. That's how much money they're sitting on. That is what I'm saying.
Yeah, that's true.
So, yeah, I mean, yeah. So you making a donation obviously does help because a lot of people then look at you and then they go on to make to donate more. Yeah, that definitely works.
And this is like I am still on like Instagram and like Facebook and stuff. Like, but at this point of time, like वो likes वाला game खत्म हो गया, at least for me in my head. वो likes वाला game is
मैंने भी हटा दिया है.
gone.
Like I don't. There's this option you can just switch it off the numbers and it will just show someone's name and others. So I've like done that stuff.
So
but
do
it
you
will
get
still
notifications
show
when
you
somebody
numbers.
likes your post?
Yeah.
Okay, so you've turned off the numbers, but do you still get notifications when someone like your image?
So I've
your
turned
post?
off the notification because when I post, there'll be like a lot of people liking, and my phone kept buzzing. So I've like turned off all the Instagram notifications. Like, yeah.
No, that's fine. But like, do you get notified in the app? Like when you go to the notifications section?
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
so you would still be able to keep track, but just not as much.
So what happens? Like you can still see how many people liked your post, but you can't see other people's posts. Like if you keep scrolling, you remember that you can see like 140 people liked her post or liked his post.
Okay, you
So you
can't see
can't
that.
see that now. No.
Okay.
Yeah. So like that's
killing
I
the
don't.
comparison game.
Yeah, killing the comparison. Yeah.
Yeah, and with all
But
of these
like
huge...
it's cosmetic.
Yeah.
It always
Yeah?
has been. It's
It's
just people
cosmetic,
have
like-
woken up to that now.
Like
Hmm.
no, like it just like puts the platform in a good place. Like like it's a good topic for conversation. Ki, hey, you know what? We have this initiative. Why don't like if that is the objective, then why not turn likes off for everybody, like the number for that matter. Just keep it on for the person. But yeah, okay.
Yeah, I mean, so with all these huge social apps, right, like Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, Instagram, now at least when it comes to growing, we've reached a point where you just keep posting regularly, and when you do get lucky, you just your popularity explodes. That's just it. There's no formula for it anymore. In fact, do you remember, like, it's still there? Like, there's an entire industry of growth hackers. They're like, oh, we get your page from 500 to 50,000 followers. Keep doing these things. We'll hack the algorithm and whatnot. Yeah, I mean, so people are not doing that anymore. Like, thankfully. It's the focus is just coming back to content now, except for the whole influencer side of things. That is still like a bit of a gray area that's not addressed yet.
I just so like like it may sound slightly weird, but for me, like बहुत weird reason है, ठीक है, why I use social media. I take a lot of pictures, बहुत ज़्यादा photos लेता हूँ, ठीक है, but I always tend to post them on stories or either post, right? But the thing is, it actually helps me go back to, because I have this
Um.
ritual of checking the memory every day. Like I go to Facebook
Mm-hmm.
and I go to Instagram and I just check the memory. Hey, what all happened on this day, that time.
Mm.
Because I do have tons of pictures in my phone, which I don't even bother to look at because it's too much.
Yeah.
Like Instagram is like at this point in time, Instagram and Facebook have become those platforms जहाँ पे like you chose to upload certain pictures which like I would want to look back to, which I would not otherwise find on my phone because it is on my phone, but like lost amid hundreds of
Mm.
thousands of pictures. So
Mm.
for me, like it's just like a photo album, curated photo album that I go back to nowadays. Like nowadays, it's like more of that.
Yeah.
So yeah, usage has changed a lot. Like
Yeah.
That's why these
I
apps
think
came into
even.
existence in the first place, right? That's what they were supposed to mean. And of course, like
yeah,
the social part of it was like you also show this curation to your friends, and
Huh.
yeah.
you guys can engage in some uh,
Yeah.
conversation
Talks.
about it. That
Maybe
was basically
icebreakers.
it.
Huh.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. So I have like two
Okay,
accounts.
okay,
So
okay,
like
okay.
one of them is, yeah. बोलो.
नहीं, ठीक है, बोलो. But I have something nice to add, but you just like continue. You finish. I'll say after that.
ठीक है. Hold on to that thought. तो मैं क्या बोल रही थी, हाँ, तो मेरे भी 2 अकाउंट्स हैं। तो जो एक है प्राइवेट वाला, उसमें आई कीप पोस्टिंग बिकॉज़ आई वांट टू रिविजिट देम लेटर, द सेम थिंग। बट पहले आई यूज्ड टू बी लाइक एवरीबॉडी हैड दोज़ क्यूरेटेड प्रोफाइल्स, aesthetic, like if it's a beige tone, so every photo is in beige tone, or maybe that pinkish hue. So I stopped posting because I didn't have that aesthetic. Okay. So after I was like, why did I stop posting? I don't have any pictures anymore to show anyone that wore that on that day. So I started posting again, and I literally like उसका bio यही है कि like gallery in making sort of thing. And I also removed
That's cool.
followers कि मेरे को फालतू लोगों को भी नहीं दिखाना. Like only a little bunch of people I want to show it to. So I sat one day and I removed like people from my followers like that. Yeah.
I hope Manu was able to make that cut. I hope
Yeah,
he's part of
yeah,
the elite circle.
Yeah, dude.
yeah. Like he's in my people circle also. Like random thought. It's okay. Hmm.
Yeah.
बोलो
अच्छा,
अब
but
क्या बोल रहे
like
थे?
social media, like I forgot one of the most important reasons why I use social media. अभी तो इतना नहीं करता हूँ, but like whenever I ended up like matching with somebody over Tinder or something, like it was a prerequisite for people to have a social media account because that would allow me to have a good check on like so I think so like if the person did not have a social media account, then it was an obvious, was it left? It was left, right? It was an obvious left for me.
हे
Yeah.
भगवान.
But like
I think I
social
finally
media,
okay. Now I've
This is
found my
new.
no,
answer to why
because
I've not had any matches in in like
that's
the
true,
last
dude. Because like I think so
year or
like
two.
abhi to mera time nikal gaya or whatever, like. But in my head, where my process was here, like a person should have some digital footprint so
Social
that I
media
can at
parents.
least verify like number one, is the person real? Number two,
It can still be a
does the
catfish.
person have a
It can
social
still
life
be a
sort of?
catfish with social media.
Nowadays, yes. हाँ, अभी
Yeah.
तो आजकल तो हाँ, पहले पहले इतना पहले like
Hmm.
पहले people did not like think of making a social media. Nowadays people know that like once you have social media you can catfish people and stuff. Like पहले people did not know much
Yeah.
about it, so it was a nice way for me to like quickly check कि अच्छा Instagram नहीं है, ठीक है, अच्छा
Yeah.
Oh
what's
my
social
God.
media?
It was like a judgment factor कि social media नहीं है तो I won't be a friend. Oh my God. ऐसा था?
It's but
नहीं नहीं
it's
नहीं,
yeah,
it's
but it's
like
become like that.
it's like easy filter, like like you don't have to like put an extra effort to verify that person back then. So it's like थोड़ा थोड़ा उनके लाइफ के glimpses मिलते रहते हैं and you just get to know okay this person exists for real and so yeah,
I think you've stopped doing that.
but that was
Probably
very
you've been
mandatory.
catfished.
Yeah, like, ठीक है, fine.
That's a
Yeah,
story
no,
for
it's like
some other day, but yeah, like
it's like people are born, they grow up, and then they get an Aadhaar card, they get a PAN card, then they also create an
And
Instagram account.
just for Abhimanyu to see if they are real, if they
Yeah.
exist. Good one, good one. If anybody tells me about someone, na, I also do this stuff, like stalking them, or maybe maybe
yeah.
they are like, they say you come to me and you tell me about this person you met, and you say I'm a bit like not sure about him or her. Like I'll just go and like find out every like on every platform like whatever they have done, and just let you know the maybe the crux or a summary of the person.
You should look. You
That's
should look
what I
that
do.
person
Oh,
up. You should look that person up on LinkedIn. You will find their true self over there.
Yeah. I do that a lot.
dude, I've done that for so many people. Like like वो
Hmm.
digital presence check बहुत अच्छे
Footprint.
से करा है मैंने. बहुत
Yeah.
लोग हैं. हाँ, dude, like अभी अभी
I
काफी
remember.
अच्छे से पता चल गया कि
I
like how to go about these
think
things.
no. The other day when I had come over to your house, we were looking for someone on Instagram. तो वो
Hmm.
कुछ मिल
Oh
नहीं रहा था, so we
yeah,
looked that person up on LinkedIn. Remember?
we did.
Yeah.
Yes.
Even I do that. मेरे घर वाले they just like randomly they'll talk about a person, and they won't remember their job maybe, or maybe they won't remember like who is their father or mother. I just open up LinkedIn for their jobs and Facebook for their parents. That's it, and they'll be like so shocked. Like, how did you know? Like, it's like people
No,
post
dude.
everything these days.
Actually,
Huh.
that's true because
Huh.
like like as you grow, right? Like you keep
Yeah.
like आपका social media usage keeps on changing, right? अभी usage मेरे पता है
Yeah.
क्या है? Like लोग पे
Hmm.
रिश्ता आ रहा होता है ना, so I am the person who
Correct.
verifies the person's job. Like somebody's
I
mom
was
would
just
call me.
Same.
say,
Huh.
I was just gonna say that. So, one of my
Hmm.
cousins, one of my cousins is gonna get married soon. Okay, so they were looking
Mm,
at,
Ah.
so they were doing an entire background check on that guy and his, on
mm.
the groom and
Hmm.
his family on Facebook. They're like, they found him, they found his parents, and they were just going through the post. They're like, okay, they are so and
Yeah.
they're real and all that.
Oh
Yeah,
my god.
no, but
This
that's
real thing is
But
creeping me out.
I got
real
I
की
got a
बात नहीं है.
task,
It's
no?
just that Facebook पे like most of our parents and that generation of people are still
Hmm.
very active on it, and
Yeah.
they clearly don't know how to set boundaries on social media. They just share pretty much every
Ah.
detail about their life over there, and they,
Yeah.
without
Even
realizing
for
it.
our generation, like I open Facebook for commenting on my office post every day, like at 11. So I'll just go to home and just scroll, right? They'll put everything, every freaking gallery ka picture on an album. Like, why? Why do you have to do this?
Our generation and the whole Gen Z group, they're
Hmm.
okay, I don't want to get into the whole Gen Z thing here. I probably get
Yeah,
lynched
don't get
online,
into it.
but at least
Yeah,
for our generation, people are just exhibitionists. They have to show, like they have to share with the world every single aspect of their life. A lot of people are compelled to do that, but with their parents
yeah,
and their and relatives and stuff, it's they do it very innocuously. They don't do it without realizing that what they are sharing on Facebook can be viewed by another
yeah.
billion people around them. So, for
Hmm,
example,
hmm, hmm,
like especially old people, no, they if they have some problem with some company, they just go to their
hmm.
Facebook page and just comment there. Oh, I bought your washing machine last month. It's not working now. Here
Yeah.
are the pictures of the broken machine. This is a picture of my bill. This is my phone number. This is my address. Please send a technician over.
Hmm.
That's not safe, right? That's so. Yeah, in that sense, uh, it's kind of it's kind of scary sometimes, like the kind of information that they put out.
Like social
I think
media
I
is
should
one,
just.
right? I've heard of this new kind of scam where uh, garbage collectors, they'll take
Uh,
pictures or rip off labels from your deliveries that you receive,
uh,
and your details are in
okay.
there. And they give they compile these details and send to different agencies.
Uh,
Imagine they had tie-ups for these. So like you would think that
समझ.
people would not get to know about you, but whenever you order anything from Amazon or
Yeah,
anywhere else, you have all the details in there. Like
selling it basically.
Yeah, I destroy all of that before I
yeah,
throw away the packaging.
Yeah. Acha, I'll change the question. Wait.
Okay.
Okay. So this is the last question for the
What was
stream.
the question before this?
It was the question like,
Sorry.
where do you spend your Instagram chunk of your life? But you
Yeah,
just went straight and just, I don't know, went to upside down,
yeah,
I
that
guess.
okay. That you
Uh,
can blame it. Okay, that you can blame it on Manu.
yeah, I'm blaming
Yeah, I mean,
blaming
to
it on
okay, the whole
Manu.
TLDR for that question is I found like a new purpose, a new thing to focus on in life, which is basically my job and motorcycling and all that. So a lot of my energy is going into that these days. But yeah,
Okay.
but I do want to pick up my camera and like just go back to the old days again the next time I start traveling.
Okay. Nice, nice. We like it. Abhimanyu, same question, but in one sentence, answer it. If you were to delete Instagram, WhatsApp, and one more thing, Facebook, where would you spend that time of your life? Like, where would you spend that? Hmm. One sentence.
socializing.
Okay, so you'll go out.
I
Okay,
anyway
fine.
go out,
All
so
right.
like I think so. Like I'll do that majority of the time.
Hmm.
So
So you won't miss it. Is that what you mean? Like,
not at this point of time. I think so. Like I'm matured finally, about to reach 30. So I think so. I've matured that thing.
oh, oh God. Okay, fine. Yeah, if I do this detoxing, I would maybe probably do more hobbies like painting or maybe doing some like I'll be like hands-on thing doing things and everything. So sometimes I just like switch off my phone and do this paintings or maybe like make a vlog or something like that. All right. Like the now the last question. Okay. So the so tell me the pros and cons of this. Like if you delete everything and if you don't delete anything, and the effects of it on your mental health. Choose one side and the effects on your mental health. Hmm.
So I wouldn't say that I'm off
It
social media entirely. I'm not a ghost, but yeah, but I'm off all the popular ones at least. So all the time that I saved
Oh.
by not using Instagram, I'm spending that on Twitter now. So that's basically
Yeah.
been that's basically how it's been going for me. But seriously
Mm-hmm.
though, I still feel like as a platform, Twitter is definitely better for me to use because I've been learning a lot of stuff on it about many things,
Hmm. Yeah.
geopolitics, tech, cryptocurrencies, and whatnot. So so Twitter is more like it's a text-based platform, right? So clearly you have a lot of even there you have these whole uh, all these typical influencer type folks who just make threads out of nothing
Are
and
those
you are
who
forced
post
to read a bunch.
like regularly? Yeah.
So Twitter pay, like I see a lot of obviously I'm also there mostly for the jokes and the memes, so there's a lot of that too. So I get my entertainment and I get my news and my information from there. So I I
Hmm.
still feel like I've at least mentally I'm at a better place now. Like, so I used to scroll through all
Nice.
of people's stories about uh, the world is burning and you're not doing anything, and that was basically the tone of everything, and I just felt like, oh, what am I doing? Uh, like
Hmm.
life's horrible and all that. But with Twitter, it's not like that because I also just follow 100 people. That's it, and no one
Okay.
follows me, so I hardly engage on it with
He's
people. Right? Except,
anonymous.
yeah,
Like
I'm
people ask me who is Zero you keep interacting with. I'm
yeah. So
like,
I'm pseudonymous there. So some people know me in
yeah.
real life, but most people on Twitter
Hmm.
don't. And I want to, and I like it that way. So I can just say whatever I want to, right, without
Yeah.
having to fear any pushback or whatever. So that's
Yeah.
nice.
Abhimanyu, you were saying something pehle.
It felt like a psychometric exam ka test, a question, but ठीक है.
Sorry. But yeah, I wanted
But
answers. Like,
no, no,
really,
no,
I wanted
it's the
opinions of different
same shit. Like,
uh,
you see, I feel like effective on a mental health, like like sort of ends when you stop using social media. Like, दो तीन दिन तक there is withdrawal, but उससे ज़्यादा नहीं होता because like social media तो could refer to any channel that you have, right? Even games that you play जहाँ पे
hmm,
social interactions होते हैं. Like
hmm,
I remember playing
hmm.
Pokemon Go extensively, being obsessed, like communicating with people, catching Pokemons and stuff. एक हफ्ता नहीं खेला,
Okay.
I was feeling too like weird. उसके बाद फिर I did not play for
Oh.
a year. I forgot about it. So it's about that. At this point of time, I think so. I'm not much active on other social media. I'm active on a very niche social media that has been created by the game itself. Like it's called Hoyo
Hmm,
Lab. Like Hoyo
hmm,
Lab पे Hoyoverse के games है तो games के interactions होती है. So अभी मेरा ये
hmm.
Instagram, Facebook वाला सब चला गया. तो I think that at all points of time you would be connected to some sort of social network, and जो
Ah,
um, at least मेरे mental health पे like I won't call it a issue per se. It's just little withdrawal that is caused without because of habit. But like at this point in time, I've realized that if something starts becoming a habit, you need to break it, go to something new. So that's what I'm doing
um,
also. किसी चीज का आदत लग रहा है तो I just like switch to something new. So yeah.
that's nice. Okay, तो ट्विंकल श्रद्धा ने कमेंट किया है कि अगर वो सारा सोशल मीडिया उड़ा देगी तो वो बिंज करेगी नेटफ्लिक्स बैठ के. Just by the way, giving you a new point of view, which
No,
is
I have not
actually
done
nice.
that either, and
Which is
I
okay.
feel
Like
like that's okay. But I
Uh,
have not done that yet. There's a lot of stuff that I
hmm.
need to catch up on, with Netflix Prime and all that.
Oh.
But on a serious note, uh, at
Hmm.
least how
do-
social media has evolved over the past few years, it's
Hmm.
kind of like it really is like an alternate universe where all the characters that you interact with, they're also there in
Hmm.
some platform like Twitter or Instagram or whatever, or even just WhatsApp. And the thing is, if you're a normal person, right, like you or me, who do not know a lot of people, who don't have connections or something, and you need access to opportunities and stuff, then yes, social media
Hmm.
does open a lot of doors for you. I've experienced that myself, and it's like,
Hmm.
so at least for people who say like, okay, I don't even have a mobile phone, I don't have a number, I'm not reachable and all that. If you want to talk to me,
Yeah.
you have to send a sealed handwritten
Telegram.
letter, yeah, handwritten
Yeah.
letter to my assistant. Okay, that's great. I would love to be that guy someday, but that's the time is not now, because imagine if you do go back into the stone age like that, right? Like how exactly you're going to look out for work? How are you going to connect with like-minded people that you want to share your ideas with, or okay, so your one of your hobbies is to make videos, right? So obviously you would want to hone that craft, and you would want to bring like you would want to do this whole stream thing with more people regularly, right? Like where are you going to go find them? So in that sense, yes,
Yeah.
uh, social media does help you with uh,
Yeah. Yeah.
unlocking a bunch of doors. So yeah, I mean it's not like we can rubbish it entirely, but uh,
Yeah.
so it's just that I've like drawn very clear boundaries as to what is it that I want to engage with. So I
Mhm.
found I found my little comfort space on Twitter. It because I decide the kind of accounts that I want to follow, right? So mostly, even after like scrolling through Twitter for like say half an hour, 45 minutes, I'm usually not agitated. Uh, either I've
Mhm.
either I've just scrolled through a bunch of jokes, or I've just wasted time, which is fine. But I'm at least like not feeling like very agitated about anything after I put my phone down. And sometimes it
Yeah.
also happens that I've learned something new. So that way, like yeah, I think I found my balance. And do I miss Instagram? Yes. So in the time that I've been off it, I came to know that one of this girl that I really like, she got married, and
You told
so
us.
yeah, so so yes, I do miss out on these little nuggets every now and then, but it's fine. I don't really feel like I'll be coming
Channa
back on it
mere.
again. Yeah.
Acha, wait a minute. So our audience is asking, like,
Oh, we have
not
an
audience,
audience.
Nikki
Okay.
is asking, Abhimanyu, when will you vlog next? And the
Oh
next question is,
God.
when will you stream about Stranger Things? Shraddha, I'm gonna do it with you after the engagement. So, like, put on a seatbelt or something. But to answer Nikki's question, Abhimanyu, you can tell her when will you vlog next.
I will finally now because I finally have a good camera setup and everything. I was just waiting for
Hmm.
this. So
And it took
yeah.
you like half an hour to join a stream. Okay, sure.
Yeah. Oh my
No,
God. The
dude,
food.
I'm surprised. That's something like it reminded me of college days when Chrome did not support anything. Like I was like, there's something wrong with my
Mm.
network. I'm
That's
checking the
weird.
speed. Okay, literally proper speed aa raha hai. And I'm like, what the hell is happening? Then I was like, let me just like give it one shot, try it on Firefox because college में Firefox चलता था. And it just started working. I was like, oh shit, dude.
No,
Chrome.
so
Mm.
I
मतलब ये
mean,
बस ऑफिस के काम के लिए है Chrome. Otherwise,
even for that, right? Like, don't
dude,
use
I'm
Chrome, just
basically
use Brave.
on video
हाँ
calls all
यार,
day.
don't use Chrome,
Basically,
delete कर दो उसको. हाँ.
मेरा ऑफिस
Chrome, if you're
Chrome पे काम
listening
करता
to
है
this,
bro.
you wanna give me.
जी सूट पे काम करता है पूरा ऑफिस.
अरे. Like, it was nice, like, talking to you after so long on a topic which is like common to us and giving like different opinions and like maybe feedbacks. It was actually fun and we'll do it more often. So I'm ending it. Do you want to say anything in the end or like maybe kuch bach gaya ho?
Uh, I mean, I feel good. So this is my first time as a guest on on a live show. That was nice.
Thank you. And
Yeah, I
हाँ
can't
Abhimanyu,
wait
हाँ
to
like
do this
imagine
again.
like in future I imagine in future like visiting Divya's real set like like imagine पूरा set
Yeah,
है set पे invitation like, oh
yeah. Like we'll one day we'll be getting an appointment. Like we'll be getting a call from Divya's office. And like, oh, Divya ma'am wants to add you to the podcast for
yeah
this episode.
let's manifest
yeah.
this.
And then we'll be at
Maybe
home, like
that time it will be more polished.
yeah, we'll be at home, like a blacked out limo will come to pick us up, and then we'll be taken to her
Oh
studio.
my God. मुझसे ज़्यादा मतलब you have dreams like wow. Great. Oh, Nikki's like, that would be me scheduling appointments. Yes, yes, she'll be my manager. I've just told her if I become famous one day, you will be my manager. That's all. Okay then. All right. Chalo, so we'll end this. Then, like, I had a very good time, and we'll do more podcasts together. And that's all. Bye.
Yeah,
Don't go
next
anywhere.
time. Yeah, next time
Huh.
I think I'll also like try to be a little more coherent. So I think I started drifting off on odd topics and all that, but
It's okay. I'm
I'm
also
just realizing that fact.
practicing.
Yeah.
Okay,
So
Bill.
this is good practice. So our next stream would like be with better